Please repeat the translation. He was there in his transcendental body.
He was there in his transcendental body.
The residence of the goddess of fortune.
The residence of the goddess of fortune.
With his usual gentle and sweet smiling face.
With his usual gentle and sweet smiling face.
His nectarian words.
His nectarian words.
And his flawless character.
And his flawless character.
So it is the description of Lord's smile, his words, and his character. The Supreme Lord is described here as having a transcendental body without any flaw. When Krishna appeared, whenever he appears in this material world is also Krishna's world, his world of temporary name, form, activities, and when he comes from the eternal world of eternal name, form, activities, pastimes, etc. He comes as he is in his transcendental body. We are also part and parcel of Krishna. When we come into this material world, we take on a body of this material energy. But Krishna, being the proprietor of everything, whenever he comes into this material world, he does not have to take another body for him to come into this material world and act in this material world. He comes in his own form, in his own transcendental Satchidananda Vigraha. And just for us to be seen that Satchidananda Vigraha mystically appears to be to the material eyes. There are two ways of seeing it. One is God takes a material body and therefore you can see. God takes a body of material energy, therefore you can see. Another way of understanding is God is always in his Satchidananda form. His Satchidananda form is omnipotent body. That body itself appears like a material body, so that my material eyes can see him. So therefore it is said that the Lord does not have to take a dress like ours to come into this material world. The Lord is always transcendent. There are different kinds of avatars. In this particular avatar as Krishna, as it is he comes. Atma Maya. By his own Maya, he comes. Otherwise, Lord is Satchidananda Vigraha. Satchidananda Vigraha we cannot see with our material eyes. How are we able to see with our material eyes this Satchidananda Vigraha? Because this Satchidananda Vigraha is all powerful. For Satchidananda Vigraha to be seen by our material eyes, he doesn't have to take a dress of material energy. He is omnipotent, material world or spiritual world. If he decides to be seen to a devotee, to the material eyes also, he can show himself up. So Krishna, when he came 5,000 years back, he enacted various pastimes, unlike how we take a body which is not mine through the birth in a mother's womb, and then I die after some time. So the activities of the living entities in this material world, they are all enacted through laws of karma, through a material body which is not my body. We are all spirit souls, we all have spiritual body. But in the spiritual body, we cannot do certain things in the spiritual world with our spiritual body. In the spiritual body, we cannot practice, or we cannot. The spiritual body does not have the ability for sense gratification. It does not have the ability for self-centered enjoyment. There are two kinds of enjoyment: self-centered enjoyment, and the other enjoyment is to partake in the Lord's enjoyment. We are all Anandamaya, we are all blissful entities. Krishna is all blissful. We as his part and parcel are also blissful. Our soul is blissful. Now the soul is covered by this material body. The soul is covered mainly because of our attitude of forgetting Krishna and trying to independently live life independent of Krishna. So that independent living is what we see in the material world. Everybody is living in that consciousness of independence. Independence means I take care of myself, I protect myself, I fend for myself, I earn for myself, I secure myself, I earn sense objects for my senses. So this is nothing new. We are seeing the entire material world, every living entity from birth, this is his mode of functioning. This is a mode in which the living entities are working in the material world. It has become so normal. We also tend to think this is normal. But actually this is abnormal. This is because of this false egoism, that is why we are in this material world. There is another consciousness where the living entity is surrendered to Krishna. Krishna will take care of me. Krishna is my protector. Krishna is my provider. I am Krishna's servant. I have no other work than whatever Krishna orders. This is another kind of consciousness. And I take pleasure in giving pleasure to Krishna. In the material world, everybody takes pleasure in giving pleasure to himself. Is it not? The opportunity to get pleasure, nobody will leave. So in the material world, the consciousness is, I want to give pleasure to myself. Myself, my extended, my family, my this thing, everything. In the spiritual world, the living entity wants to give pleasure to Krishna. So he gets pleasure in giving pleasure to Krishna. Just like how, let's say you love someone, then you take pleasure in cooking good, nice, palatable dishes for that person. This is exchange of love. In the same way, continuously living entities are engaged in service of Lord Krishna in the spiritual world to give him pleasure. And Krishna is so wonderful that he is continuously engaged in various pastimes with his devotees to give devotees pleasure. So this is in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, that is our real world, that is the spirit's original enjoyment, is to always trying to give pleasure to Krishna, and then Krishna is always trying to give pleasure to the devotees. And in this way, it's a loving exchange, partaking in Krishna's transcendental enjoyment. This is very fundamental. If we change our consciousness of independent existence and independent pleasure, independent love, if we can change this consciousness, that is at the root. Root sin, the original sin of the living entity is that. So we have to change that consciousness to Krishna consciousness. False ego consciousness to Krishna consciousness. Just like say everybody is in their own world. Apna apna dunya mein. That is what this world is about. So instead of being in our own world, we should come into the world of Krishna. Krishna-centered world. Deity-centered world. Holy name-centered world. Guru-centered world. We all create worlds in our mind. So किस दुनिया में रहना? Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's seva, Guru's seva, deity seva. You should remain in that world. In that world, Krishna is my supreme protector. Krishna is my provider. Krishna is my maintainer. Krishna never lets me down. I am his eternal part and parcel. I cannot be separated from Krishna. In illusion, I thought I can be separate from Krishna. The cause of all my suffering in the material world is detachment from Krishna. So, artificial detachment from Krishna and artificial attachment to so many things. Nobody is my father, nobody is my mother, nobody is my husband, nobody is my children, no property is mine. So if there is a mine, that is all artificial. Because the fact is that nothing is yours. Everything is Krishna's. So being attached to Krishna is natural, and being attached to material things is unnatural. But now what is our consciousness? Being attached to things in the material world is natural. When you tell about get attached to Krishna, it appears unnatural. You are not able to get attached to Krishna. But the truth is, you are belonging to Krishna, you are inseparable from Krishna. And the truth is that from everything else, actually you are disconnected. As soon as you die, you are disconnected from everything material. So how to come to this realization of this truth, that I am attached to Krishna, I belong to Krishna, I am inseparable from Krishna, my enjoyment is in partaking in enjoyment of Krishna. How do we come to this understanding? This understanding you can come, this consciousness has to awaken. It is not philosophical understanding. Philosophical understanding you already know. Mamai vamsha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. We are eternal servants of Krishna. Already many times you hear, you read. How to change my inside dunya, inside world into Krishna world. Only when you feel close to Krishna, how can you feel close to Krishna? There is a material covering which is this Maya giving us illusory stories. Sab Maya kahani, our head is full. So the problem is of realization. The problem is of not of knowledge. Knowledge, as devotees, we all have knowledge. How to feel detached from material world, that I have nothing to do with this material world. How to feel attached to Krishna, me means part and parcel of Krishna. I am eternal servant of Krishna. I am a lover of Krishna. Krishna loves me. How to relish that consciousness in our heart? How to awaken that? Only way is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This Nama has got all the Shakti that is required to melt this jhoot kahani, all these false lies centered around I am the body. We've all created a world around I am the body, other people are their bodies. Neither I am the body nor other people are their bodies. But the basis of the world is that I am the body, others. So how to awaken that? How can you awaken? By chanting Hare Krishna and hearing Hare Krishna. Why? There is a science behind it. Because this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. All the Shakti that is required to awaken. You need Sapta Shakti, Chitta Shakti, Ananda Shakti to awaken the soul. That Shakti is there in this Nama, Kalikale, Krishna Namarupa Avatara. So we discussed about Avatara. Krishna, when he comes as Avatara, that Avatara Sharira is himself. Similarly, this Avatara Sharira, Shabda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. For those who have no faith, it will appear like material sound vibration. For those who are Shraddha in this Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, they realize that it is 100% Krishna, this sound. So with Shraddha, if you chant Krishna, wherever there is Krishna, Krishna is like Surya of Satchidananda. Krishna is his effulgence. Just like you go near a person, there is an aura which you cannot see. But there is an aura of his power, aura of his personality. So your aura catches that aura and you feel, isn't it? Just like the Prime Minister comes, there's an aura of power. So we also interact with that aura. We feel the power of that person. So Krishna, when he comes down, he has this, wherever there is Krishna, there is an infinite aura of Satya Chitta Ananda. Aura is an energy. So the spiritual energy of Satya Chitta Ananda is there when Krishna incarnates. So Krishna is incarnated as Nama. So this Nama is full Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti, all power, all knowledge, all bliss. That energy is what is there in this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We should learn how to see this. Just like because you are educated, when you see a 2000 rupee note, you don't see paper. But what does your eye see? Paper. What do you see? Value. You see with your mind's eyes. In the same way, moment you hear Hare Krishna, your gross eyes hears a sound which appears like a limited sound. But it is God Himself, the ocean of Satchidananda. Just like a very crude example, that 2000 rupees have the power to purchase some things, isn't it? Similarly, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra has power, has knowledge, and has Ananda. Ananda Shakti, Chitta Shakti, and Sapta Shakti. It is there in the Shabda. A child, an ignorant child, will tear the 2000 rupee note because he does not know the value, ignorance. So similarly, those who do not see the holy name properly, they don't get so much interested. Kya jap karna hai? Why? You should understand why. Because his inner eyes is not opened by the Guru through Shraddha to see that it only appears to be an ordinary sound. But the sound is not ordinary. Sound is God Himself. Anytime Krishna takes avatara, there is no difference between him and his body. Those who know the secret, they get full association from Krishna avatara. So you want association from Nama avatara. Once you get association, then automatically you will awaken. Because our original discussion was how to awaken. Shastra says, I am not this body, I have no connection with this body, I am part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is Satchidananda, I am also Satchidananda. How I can experience this? Now I am suffering thinking I am this body, and then another life I am thinking I am the body, I am thinking I will die, I am born. I am thinking my bodily pleasure is my pleasure, bodily pain is my pain. The Shastra says you detach from all these things, this is nothing to do with you. Any moment in our material body, we have nothing to do with it permanently. The body is continuously changing. At the time of death, this body we give up. After that, we don't have any connection with the body. Anyway, body is useless. So the problem is not about knowledge, plenty of knowledge we have. Problem is we need energy to wake up. Jagna hai, jeev jago, Gora Chanda bole. Katho nidra maya. How long you will be sleeping in the lap of Maya? Take this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The omnipotent sound, Supreme Lord, Shakti Avesha Nama, drink through your ears. Drink through your ears and mind. Just like when you take a medicine, it goes into your mouth, it goes into your system, and then it gets into your bloodstream and it goes and it energizes the whole body. Similarly, when we drink this Hare Krishna Mahamantra through our ears, our subtle body, stomach is called Chittam. This Nama goes there. Just like medicine is distributed all over the body to make you healthy, to cure your disease. Similarly, our Chittam becomes Shuddha as this Shabda goes inside through our ears, through the mind, into our heart. So we should always chant from the heart, hear from the heart. Chant and hear with a hungry heart. Just like there is a difference between normal drinking of water and when you are thirsty, how you drink. Isn't it? Just like the food also. When you have appetite, you eat, it's different experience. Similarly, chanting also, we should drink the sound with hunger for hearing, with a hungry heart. Why would you drink with a hungry heart? Only if you are Shraddha that this heart can cure my hunger of Satchidananda. This Shabda can cure. Shraddha should be there. It can solve all problems. My eternal problem of existence, of birth after birth, body after body, everything can be sorted out simply by drinking this sound, this medicine. So, it is not by simply knowledge you are going to get realization. Your realization, knowledge is a result of associating with the Nama Prabhu. Knowledge is a fruit, transcendental knowledge, who I am, what I am. I am Krishna's. That awakening, that Divya Jnana has to come from somewhere. That comes from the Nama. Simply by chanting and hearing this Nama Avatara, who is Krishna himself, so kindly he is become himself. When the Surya of Satchidananda goes into my heart, in my Chittam, there is Asat, Achit and Nirananda. All material values of pleasure, material beliefs, this gives me pleasure, that gives me pleasure. This is called Jadananda, Nirananda. Illusory ideas of pleasure will all melt when the Ananda Shakti from the Nama goes and touches, we touch. Just like piece of iron put in the fire becomes red hot. The same way, we go on putting into our heart, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So since it's ocean of Chit, the knowledge, the truth, my forgotten knowledge, oh, I am Krishna's, I belong to Krishna. I have no anxieties of existence. I am Krishna's, I am meant for Krishna. The idea of I have anything else other than Krishna is an illusion. I live for Krishna, I exist for Krishna. I am created for Krishna. I belong to Krishna. And therefore I shall have no other desire than desire for Krishna. So in this way, this nice, beautiful consciousness, not philosophy, beautiful consciousness has to come up in our heart. That comes up by just like if you can, 1 hour lecture I can give. What is the taste of mango? You can also hear a lecture. Oh, I know what is the taste of mango. समझ गया. Oh, I am part and parcel of Krishna. This is all philosophy. Tasting the mango is chanting and hearing. Tasting Krishna consciousness. Take it very seriously. We are here to awaken our Krishna consciousness, not to push knowledge into ourselves. We are here to awaken my Divya Jnana. That is the purpose of Krishna consciousness. Every living entity is Amsha of Krishna. Not only, devotees, atheist, non-atheist, every living entity, every worm, the living entity in every body is Mama Evamsha Jiva Lokya, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hrideshi Arjuna Tishtati. Krishna declares all the secrets. किसी को दम नहीं होता ऐसा बोलने का, सबका हृदय में मैं हूं. लेकिन एक आदमी ने बोल के गया है. Who is it? Krishna. ईश्वरा सर्वभूतानां हृदेशि अर्जुन तिष्ठति. And that person came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, here now I will take avatara in the Shabda, Nama Shabda. Simply drink this. Initially it is like a medicine, it will cure your Chittam. After medicine, same Hare Krishna will become tonic. Tonic means you need strength for devotional service. Same Hare Krishna Mahamantra will give you taste. I want to do devotional service, I want to do devotional service. First is curing. Medicine cures. Then the medicine becomes tonic. And then same Hare Krishna chanting afterwards becomes nectar. 3 stages: medicine, tonic, then Amrit. It becomes Amrit when you realize Shuddhanama, Krishna himself. Now we have no qualification to touch Shuddhanama. So one should not imagine that he can chant Shuddhanama. Just like Bhagavatam describes that according to one's realization, he should meditate on Krishna. He should start with meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. Gradually, as he becomes detached from sense gratification, he can raise his meditation onto the Lord's middle form, chest, face. Face is the last. In the same way, holy name also. There is Shakti Avesha Nama, the energies of the Lord. पहले भगवान की जो नाम की शक्ति है वो हमारा चित्त को स्नान कराते हैं. First the Shakti, when you are in the material world, suppose your son has run away from home and then he is loitering everywhere and so dirty his dress, his skin, no bath, nothing. Then as soon as you realize, oh, I found my son, first thing what you will do? Give him a bathe him, give him a new dress, correct? So in the same way, first spiritual progress, first is what? Cheto Darpanamarjanam. Bathe in the holy name of the Lord. Then you cannot go in a dirty body, you cannot go to home. You don't want him to take your son home. You want first clean him, let come. You want to throw all the dirt away. Is it not? Or you are attached to his dirty torn clothes. First what you will do is you will take good clothes from home, change dress, then bring him home. Exactly in the same way, we cannot go back to the spiritual world with our dirty chitta, dirty consciousness, contaminated consciousness. We cannot. Therefore, Lord is very merciful. Right, I am giving you the Shakti which will cleanse your chittam. Satya Chitta Ananda Shakti. Nam Nam Akari Baudanija Sarva Shakti. It is there in this nama. Now take simply you hear, hearing is equal to bathing. Hearing is equal to bathing. Chanting is equal to producing the water to bathe. So simply you chant and you don't hear, that means you are not bathing. Chant and hear, then bathing happens, bathing. When you bathe somebody, what happens? Bathing does not produce any new thing. Bathing removes the dirt and the original luster of your skin comes out. Similarly, chanting Hare Krishna, chanting and hearing Hare Krishna will bathe our contaminated consciousness of false egoism, being independent, being unsurrendered, trying to take care of oneself, protect oneself, all these things, that consciousness, that is called false egoism. That false egoism, that should be bathed. We should bathe with the holy name. That is something outside the soul. Inside the soul has got real egoism. Just like the real luster of the skin comes up when you take bath. Similarly, the real egoism that I am a wonderful servant of Krishna, I am a blissful servant of Krishna, that will come out in our Shuddha Chitta. It's called Shuddha Chitta. Shuddha Chitta will show up when this contaminated Chitta is purified by hearing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So in our life, we should, as I said, simply hearing more and more about the mango is very good, but it cannot end there. Suppose you don't know what is mango, mango is tasty, you will never even go near mango. So I am not saying there is no use of mango knowledge. It is useful, but next you should eat. Similarly, we should understand that hearing about all these things will attract us towards how to now take association, how to eat this mango. Completely different. Jnana is different. Jnana, I am part and parcel of Krishna, I am loving servant of Krishna, is different. When you feel from your original feeling that I am servant of Krishna, वो अलग बात है, उसका dignity अलग है. False ego will all vanish. Sense gratification will vanish. Why? Because you see it as degrading. You will see it as soul deceiving, self-cheating. You will see it as soul humiliating. अपने अपने को डिस्ट्रॉय करता है by material consciousness. Krishna consciousness will lift the soul up. Any questions?
About the holy name, importance of hearing. Then after you read Bhagavatam, everything, Gita, you have to chant the family. And the process of reading also, of hearing also, that also is purified.
Yes. No, you should hear Bhagavatam. Hearing Bhagavatam is one, and reading for jnana is one. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Hearing from a source, from a realized source, is also incarnation. But when you speculate and think about the philosophy, it is not hearing. If you, as it is, if you are hearing from Prabhupada, you are taking something and you are smaranam, doing of that, that is same effect as namasmarana. Because Bhagavatam is also an incarnation of the Lord. But what happens from each incarnation, how merciful, how we can perceive the mercy is little different. Deity is also incarnation. Bhagavatam also incarnation. Holy name also incarnation. Holy name, simply directly hearing, is the most effective method in Kali Yuga. Next effective method is hearing Bhagavatam. The next effective is deity worship. So hearing the transcendental words or hearing the glories of the holy name is non-different from Krishna. Bhagavatam hearing, there is a possibility of course, their real hearing means submissive hearing, without speculation. That is not as easy as simply to hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Don't think anything, simply hear. Easier to follow than when you read Srimad Bhagavatam. You can give your own interpretations. So that possibility of mind contaminating that mercy is there. So therefore, first you hear Hare Krishna, purify your consciousness, become free from mental speculation, and then one can submissively hear. One submissively hears, it is same as Chetodarpana, chanting also.
My question was basically, both the process complement.
Huh?
Both the chanting and chanting Hare Krishna, reading Bhagavatam, and doing any services for Krishna, they are all complementing each other to chant better.
Yeah, all of them complement each other. Because why chant? Why we are saying about it all leads to chanting better? Because the sound incarnation is the medium through which we can get the Kripa in this Kali Yuga. This is revealed in the scriptures. It is based on the scriptures. They are all effective. For a pure devotee, there is no difference between chanting holy name, between preaching, deity worship, talking to somebody. No difference for a pure devotee. Because in all these aspects, he is directly touching Krishna. As a conditioned soul, I have a better chance to touch Krishna through the sound incarnation than through the deity. I need certain purification, qualification to see the deities without offense. Whereas here, simply here, it becomes pure seva. And also, Nama Prabhu in this particular avatara is very merciful that any offense towards him, he does not take. There is deity worship, yes, there are aparadas. Nama aparada is there. Inattentiveness is one of the Nama aparada. But that does not receive, that aparada does not become an obstruction for Krishna consciousness. What does aparada means? It becomes an obstruction for approaching Krishna. Unless you become non-aparadi, you cannot go near Krishna. You are still aparadi. How can you go closer to Krishna? Aparadi means you will become further away. You make offenses, you become further away from Krishna. But you see the holy name, slowly he will accept all the offenses and offenses को zero करके जितना positive है वो सब ले लेते हैं. Whatever little devotion you have, he will take. Whatever commitment you have to Guru to finish your 16 rounds, the Nama Prabhu will receive that and give you more strength, more strength, more strength. So that one day you will chant without offenses. That is the meaning. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam kalo nasti eva nasti eva nasti eva gatiranyata.
Correctly. Holy name is the only way which will give strength to every other aspect.
That is the meaning. Hare Nama eva kevalam. Kevalam only. Very effective. When the most fallen can become pure, the most fallen can change his consciousness. Mental speculation is the cause of all our destruction. Our confidence in our intelligence is the cause of all our fall down. You should have full confidence in the Shabda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. All intelligence comes from the Shabda. The Shabda is the ocean of all intelligence. You want a ocean or you want a small glass of तुम्हारा छोटा बुद्धि? Speculate करना. I will solve my problem. I will get liberated. I will solve my sense gratification. Intellectually, ज्ञानिकली कुछ नहीं होता है. नाम अंदर जाएगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली क्योर हो जाएगा. Any other question? Yes. Mike. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. As you said, like we are all part and parcels of Krishna, and we were present in Goloka eternally. But what made us fall down for the first time? And the second follow-up question about this is: after going back, it is said that we won't be coming back to material world. So that takes me back to my first question again. Like, how did we come back in the first place?
I will give the answer that Prabhupada gave. If a man is drowning in the ocean and somebody comes in the boat and tells you, I'll save you, give your hand, get into the boat. After that you analyze how I fell into the water. Suppose a person says, no, I won't get into the boat. You first please tell me how I fell into the water. Why I am drowning, how I fell into the water. So this question, the nature of this question is like this. The question makes sense once you get into the boat and feel safe that you don't jump again. Then you can understand. So therefore the answer to the question is, when did I fall down? The moment you say when, time comes into picture. Whereas eternal life in the spiritual world is not this time that you think of. As long as you are in the material time, your thinking is trapped in material time, you cannot understand the answer. Not that answer is not there. Answer is there. Why the entire phenomena is there? It is because of false egoism you fall down. Then the next question you'll ask, how in the spiritual pure world you got false egoism? Like this, unlimited questions will come. But there is answer for all this. So first the answer to that question is nothing but full self-realization. That is the answer to that question. When you fully self-realize, you will know the answer to this question. Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Krishna was idam sariram kaunteya kshetram. So what is the spiritual meaning of this?
Idam shariram
Kaunteya kshetram.
kshetram. Yeah.
Idam shariram kaunteya.
Ah.
Body is the kshetra.
Yeah. Yeah. This material body is the person in the body is a kshetrajna, one who knows the body. Body is that which is known. So there is a difference between the knower and the known. So body is not you, but body is something you know. The seen. Here the seen is the kartal, but different from the seer. In the same way, this shariram, the Atma is seeing the sharira, but it is not the sharira. Atma is experiencing the sharira, but it is not the sharira. Atma is the experiencer, but not the experienced. Usme different. That viveka, that spiritual differentiation is part of self-realization. That difference becomes very clear to us when we chant Hare Krishna. When you associate with Nama, after some time, that becomes very clear. Main alag hu, mera sharir alag hai. Any other question?
Hare Krishna, not question, but understanding. आपने जो एग्जाम्पल दिया कि मदर जो बच्चा लॉस्ट हो जाता है,
हाँ.
you can see meet her first time after lost, तो उसको क्लीन करती है, then she brought to her
Home.
But normally मदर इतनी अफेक्शनेट होती है, जैसे बच्चे को देखती है वो उसको गले से लगा देती है.
हाँ.
And then वो even cow gives birth to the baby calf. First they clean and then start taking care of.
Right.
So वो जो accepting and parallelly cleaning is going on.
Correct.
Not that clean and then taking care of.
No. Taking back home is after cleaning. Taking back home, because there are other living entities there. They will say, Ganda kya? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. This is a dirt. जब तक एक साफ नहीं होगा उधर नहीं जा सकता है. लेकिन भगवान हम ऐसा भी हमको छोड़ता नहीं. परमात्मा के रूप में हमारा हृदय में बैठा है, चैत्य गुरु जैसे बैठा है. इसको साफ करा देना कि साधना भक्ति की थ्रू इसको साफ करा देते हैं एक करके. इज वेरी मर्सीफुल. इसका मर्सी तो कम नहीं है. कोई भी जीवा को कितना मर्सी ले सकता है वो देने के लिए तैयार है. लेकिन वो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन ये था माम प्रबुद्धंते ताम स्थिति बजा में हम किसी को जबरदस्ती करके उधर लेन लेके जाता है बैक टू गॉड. क्या फायदा है? उसको फ्रीडम देना है. तुम खुद अपने मर्जी से काम छोड़ो तो हमारे पास आ सकते हैं. स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में काम नहीं है, प्रेम लोक है. वो प्रेम लोक में एक काम भावना होगा तो वो डिस्टर्बेंस होगा. इंटरनल एनर्जी अलाउ नहीं करेगा. उधर के एटमॉस्फेयर को सुरक्षित रखते हैं इंटरनल पोटेंसी. कोई जीव जो काम भाव है उधर एंटर नहीं कर सकता. Anybody who is having the consciousness of male and female cannot enter there. Because this gender, material gender, cannot enter there. You have to become transcendental. That I am Prakriti. Only Purusha is Krishna. Whether Vaikuntha or Goloka, same thing. I am enjoyed and he is enjoyer. Any enjoying bhava means you are thinking you are Purusha. Vrindavan Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.